Hey guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a collective reading, so I speak in broad terms. You have to figure out what I'm saying, where it applies to your life, and how. If it fits and it supports and validates things you've already been thinking or feeling or your intuitions around a situation, please feel free to utilize it to, support you in your decision making. Don't allow the video to necessarily make the decisions for you, though. We want you to exercise your free will and choice in each and every matter in your life, right? Just so that you're aware you are 100% responsible for those choices and decisions that you make in your life. Please check out the drop-down menu. I believe in the daily videos. In there is just house rules as to which decks I'm using during any given month, how to book a private reading, how to follow me on social media, ways to support the channel, things like that. Best ways to support the channel is hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy my content. Another great way is to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. Also, leave a question or comment. I do read them all, and I like them. I will respond to certain ones if something piques my interest. But all of that creates activity on the channel. I'm a very small channel, and I'm trying to grow it. So please share the channel out with your friends, on your social medias, who knows, in your groups, wherever it's most welcome and would be best utilized. I would greatly appreciate it. This is the original forecast date was for Tuesday, the 14th of June. It is the full moon in Sagittarius, but it's not solely set for that date. If you're watching it on a different date, that's okay. If this still pertains to a specific situation you're dealing with during the time that you're currently watching it, feel free to utilize the reading. That works with any of my readings. I believe readings and messages can be non-time and date specific. They kind of find us when they're supposed to. So if this pops up in your feed somewhere randomly, don't turn it off just because it says June 14th, All right, so let's get into this and see what the cards want us to know. I also have a little bit of a question for my regular viewers. I'm kind of doing a contemplation as to I'm going to be going away for a few days, and I don't know if I should take my decks with me and film the dailies and upload them from where I'm at, or if you guys just want to pick a card for the next 10 days, if that makes sense. And you can pick a group of cards, and I can film that and then sort of leave my equipment and decks and things here at home. I don't know which to do is better. I'm kind of trying to decide that. So I thought maybe I'd put it out there and see what interests you guys most. Do you want to see pick a card that predicts your next 10-day window? Or do you want to see me do the dailies as normal from a different locale? All right, so let me know in the questions and comments what you guys think is best, because I'm kind of open to either. I just don't know which one is more right. I think the 10-day forecast kind of feels like me being a little bit lazy. All right, and I just it saves me from having to pack decks of cards, and I would still probably take my computer anyway. But we'll see. All right, so let's see what the cards have to tell us. Oh, and by the way, because there will be some travel involved, if anybody's interested in a private reading, now would be the time to book, because I only legitimately have Saturday and Sunday of this coming week before I am out of it. Okay, so let's see. It'll only be for 10 days, but still. If anybody's got any pressing matters on their mind that they want to look up, now would be the time to speak up or forever hold your peace. All right, so let's look at what the card is for today. Hey, Queen of Swords, look at her. I love this Puma. I like to refer to her as Puma Thurman. So dumb. Okay. With the Queen of of Swords, she's very analytical, right? Swords is the mental realm. It's our mind. It's how we communicate. It's how we think. It can be contemplative. It can be, very shrewd. And I mean shrewd in a good way, like being very intelligent, being smart about our choices. The Queen is also going to represent, queens in tarot represent the cups aspect of it, right? But she's going to lead with the swords element of her suit. So she's going to be a little bit more logic over emotion, but she is still emotionally connected to whatever it is she's dealing with. And the reason why I say that is the beginning of the week, the Sunday reading, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, will populate in the lower left-hand corner if you want to watch it. But the underpinning energy of these first 2 days of this week is this Ace of Cups, right? This emotional renewal, this reconnection, this expansion of passion or compassion, this expansion of connection, this overflow essentially of like a new day, a new dawn. Like, not to quote Nina Simone, but why not? She's amazing. But it's kind of like that opportunity to kind of refresh ourselves, reconnect in a passionate way, reconnect in a highly emotional, but in a positive way, right? This Queen of Swords, she's going to have a little bit of that aspect to her, but she's going to be smart about it, right? She's definitely like kind of, in my opinion, studying the future. Like, when I look at Puma Thurman here, she doesn't necessarily look totally convinced of what the outcome may or may not be, right? And so she might be working in her, like, I feel like her little gears are turning in her brain as to, okay, what is it I'm going to do here? Or what steps am I going to take to lead me to where I want to go? And is that going to actually work, right? There might be, and I don't feel that it's doubt as much as it's contemplation, right? Trying to assess and inform oneself of making the exact correct, not only intelligent decision, but also emotionally connected decision. Does that make sense? And because that Ace of Cups resides underneath this, right? So that Ace of Cups is going to be also driving us, like, it adds that little layer of emotional intensity to this, not in a bad way, in a positive way, but because we want this, because we are like maybe in love with it, or compassionate towards it, or it's important to us as to how we feel about, say, a person or a situation. We want to be shrewd in our decision making. We want to be smart in what steps we take to get there. The Queen of Swords is going to do that. She's not going to let ourselves get too crowded or clouded, I should say, over, like, say, sometimes when we want something, I'm just using this as an example. Sometimes when we want something really badly, right, and emotionally we're like tied to it, we can sometimes allow the intensity of that emotion or the desire for it, right, the emotional desire for it, to scare us off, right, because we don't want to fail, or we don't want to, or we're afraid, well, what if we actually get it? There's also that whole aspect of fear of not just only failure, but also fear of success, because once we obtain it, shit, then what do we do? Like, how do we maintain it once we obtain it? Or how are we responsible for it moving forward, right? So there's that aspect to this Queen too, is I don't feel like she's in any fear of it. She's more like, in a way, she gives me like stalker vibes. And I mean that in a good way, in the sense that she's really looking at it from the outside with a unbiased, clear sort of intelligence to her, where she's like, yes, I want this. I know I emotionally am connected to this, but I'm not going to allow my emotions to make me choose the wrong thing. Does that make sense? She feels smarter than that to me. She feels, I keep going to this word shrewd, but she feels shrewder than that, right? She feels maybe even a little bit cautious. There's also this aspect to her, like, it's her, those blue eyes on this card that feel like she's studying other parts of whatever it is she's dealing with. So it's like, if we're looking at those smaller details or the behaviors of others, how they're reacting, we're not necessarily giving up that information, right? That's her withdrawn sword across her back. She's not necessarily showing her full hand, right? She could. And if she did, she'd be able to make the adjustments, changes, cuts, whatever with that sword to get herself to where she needs to. She knows that, right? We should know that within ourselves. There should be a quiet intelligence, air of confidence within us as we begin to start to make choices to move forward, right? But we're being maybe careful or cautious, not from a place of doubt, but from a place of desire, right? That's that Ace of Cups underneath. Like, we want to bring this fish in, so to speak. We want to win this prize, whatever the prize may be, or however it's looking to you, whatever it is you're connecting to and that you're desirous of. We want to get there. And so she's going to lead us in a way that's, intelligent and discerning in a way, right? All right, so let's see what's going on with the spirit animal oracle. I feel like she's a good card to have today. Let's just say that. I'm not bothered by her at all. There's also, our midweek card in Sunday too, because this is technically Tuesday, so we're like 3 cards in. So this could be shifting between the Ace of Cups into the 7 of Pentacles. That 7 of Pentacles is a very grounded energy. Also, I associate Pentacles with good grounded discernment and assessment. But the 7 of Pentacles in particular is about making a conscious choice, right? It's about stepping back and taking a look at the work that either has taken place, is about to take place, or is required so that we can bring in that damn harvest, right? So that we can bring in and reap the benefits of our work, of our efforts, of our attentions, right? So this Queen of Swords also gives us a little bit of that vibe too, where she's able to pounce when she's ready, but she's going to be sure that she's ready prior to pouncing. Does that make sense? Similar to that 7 of Pentacles is now the right time to bring this in? Is now the time to harvest the work or the endeavor that we've been involved in? Okay, so let's go and see what animal shows up for us. And don't worry, because we end out this week with that Chariot underpinning. So movement will take place, even if it takes us a day or two to decide as to when, how, and exactly which way we move forward. So we have, interesting. We haven't seen him yet. Armadillo spirit. Kind of really weird looking armadillo. Set healthy boundaries. Card number 3. So 3 to me, I say this all the time, they're about successful collaboration, right? But it's also about like sort of the alignment of the mind, body, spirit connection. I love how armadillos are like sort of protected, right? With their shells in the way they're like these little armored little creatures. So I like that about him. And I love that they're both facing in the same direction towards the future. Although Armadillo's eye looks like he's looking at me in the present. Does that make sense? Where Puma Thurman, she's like, how do I bring in this this prize, this desire, right? So Armadillo setting healthy boundaries. That might need to be declared through the analytical nature of this Queen of Swords, right? If somebody's not behaving the way we want or treating us in the way we desire, or if a situation isn't up to par to how we need it to be, the Queen of Swords is going to sort of, I don't want to say manipulate, but she's going to make choices and decisions around that to set it up so that it is successful and it is giving us what we want. And I think the Armadillo spirit also speaks to that, right? Where we're checking in with our mind, our emotions, our spirit, our body. Is this right, right? Is this feeling good? Are we ready to move forward? Are we ready to step forward in all of this? And indeed, we will be. There might be some adjustments that may need to take place, but be patient. The Queen of Swords can be very patient, so be patient with yourself, with those around you, with situations you're dealing with. And it feels to me like the opportunity or the you know, if there's a doorway to walk through, and I'm using a doorway sort of as a metaphor, if there's a choice to be made that sends us forward in the right and proper way, then this queen is going to see it. Does that make sense? And Armadillo is going to move there also, right? In unison kind of thing, in that energy of that three, kind of in equal alignment, in protection. Armadillos aren't necessarily you know, the fastest of animals either, right? They're going to move a little bit more slow and plodding, but they're going to get where they need to go. So set healthy boundaries. The oracle message is learning to set healthy boundaries is the gift of Armadillo spirit. You are entering a phase where in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that have been okay for you in the past. This also means that you need to learn where you end and where others begin. What is yours to own and what is not. Now that is full on Queen of Swords, like, because she'll take that sword and cut away anything that doesn't belong to her. Know your limits and understand that it's an empowering choice to say no to what doesn't feel right. Armadillo spirit is here to tell you it's time to be honest with yourself about what you really want. Be clear on what you are agreeing to, declare what your needs are, and say no as a full sentence. These are acts of respect and kindness to others as well as to yourself. Remember, the grounding stone this week is to give. Sometimes by saying no or drawing those boundaries, we're giving ourselves a gift and a gift to others in turn, right? Trust your body's signals and you will know what to do. Armadillo spirit guides you in making good decisions that are grounded in a strong sense of what belongs to you and what does not. The protection message. This is a tricky time as you may find yourself enmeshed with others, overly concerned with how they will take it if you say no or express how you really feel. Do you feel anxious saying no to someone so you capitulate, even knowing the outcome will not be in your best interest? Do you feel like it's your job to stop someone from facing their challenges? Instead, you might take on their responsibilities, rescuing them instead of giving them the freedom to learn their lessons their way. Perhaps you feel that if they only knew how much you cared, they would change and then all would be well. Armadillo spirit asks you to be honest with yourself and others, no matter how difficult that may be, or how much you may fear losing someone or something. Face your fear, tell the truth, and set your boundaries. You will be amazed at the miracles that happen when you let Armadillo spirit protect you from taking on too much, becoming a people pleaser, and losing your integrity. Another message of protection from Armadillo spirit is to relax, live, and let live. If you or someone else is being defensive, you are called to step back and trust in spirit's plan. So let's go to the grounding stone and see what is the principle we need to ground in today. And that is hope. We saw this last week. I love hope because it's so sort of open to interpretation. When we open ourselves up to the energy of hope, like all possibility becomes, you know, sort of possible, right? We give ourselves more credit, more ability, and more availability to be present, to make better choices, all of that sort of stuff. Keeping that hope alive or grounding in that hope gives us the possibility to maybe set these better boundaries, to understand our own intelligence, to understand the importance of not only how we feel, right, with that Ace of Cups and the fact that this is a Queen card, but also how we think and the intelligent choices that we're able to make, the assessments that we're able to create or to look at and to contemplate prior to making any sort of decisions. We're going to be fine, guys. This is a really, to me, this feels like a very empowered, informed reading. And understand that, like, grounding in that hope allows us to, you know, sort of have the freedom to make the right decisions no matter what that decision may be. Does that make sense? Like, to me, with these two, they feel very much protected, safe, secure, adept, and there's not a lot of room for mistake here with these two cards. That's my guidance on that one. So stay hopeful and remain in that place as you make decisions and move through the day. And remember, the word is give. Be generous to yourself first and foremost, and then give to others. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a question or comment. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see what happens as this energy begins to shift and change. Again, it's going to be an incredible week, so enjoy it. And I'll see you guys all soon. Thank you so much for watching, and please let others know about my channel. All right, take care. Bye-bye.